16-year-old Amarachi Okafor had always known hardship. Born into a struggling family in Ajiganá, Lagos, she had learned early that dreams were for those willing to fight for them. Her father was a roadside mechanic, her mother a petty trader who sold akara at the street corner. Yet, despite their poverty, Amarachi shone like a rare diamond, blessed with astonishing beauty, intelligence, and an unbreakable spirit. When she won a full scholarship to Hillsworth Academy, the most prestigious secondary school in Lagos, it was a dream come true. The school was filled with the children of politicians, oil magnates, and celebrities. The very air smelled of wealth, and students arrived in flashy cars with personal drivers. Amarachi, in her neatly ironed but clearly second-hand uniform, stood out like a sore thumb. From the first day, she realized she was unwanted. Her beauty was breathtaking, deep brown skin that glowed like polished mahogany, full lips, and eyes that held the depth of 1,000 untold stories. But what made her a bigger target was her intelligence. Within weeks, Amarachi had topped the class, outshining even the rich kids who believed they owned the school. And that was when the bullying began. It started with whispers. "Look at her. Who does she think she is? She's poor, but she wants to be the best. She should know her place." Then, it got worse. Her books disappeared mysteriously. Her lunch was thrown into the trash before she could eat. A girl once accidentally spilled juice on her uniform, forcing her to wear a stained shirt for the rest of the day. But the true leader of the torment was Vanessa Johnson, the daughter of a powerful senator. She was rich, pretty, but dangerously insecure. Amarachi's natural beauty and effortless intelligence made Vanessa burn with envy. But there was another reason Vanessa hated Amarachi. His name was Nathaniel Coker. Nathaniel was the most popular boy in school, the son of a billionaire tech entrepreneur. He was charming, intelligent, and effortlessly handsome. Girls adored him, and Vanessa had spent years trying to make him like her. But Nathaniel had eyes for only one girl. Amarachi. He had noticed her from the first day. The way she carried herself with quiet confidence, the way she never let the bullying break her. She wasn't just beautiful, she was strong. And Nathaniel admired that more than anything. At first, he only watched from afar. But one afternoon, he walked up to her in the library, where she sat alone reading. "You're really smart, you know," he said, pulling out a chair beside her. Amarachi looked up, surprised. Nathaniel Coker was talking to her. "I see how you handle yourself. The way you don't let them get to you. That's impressive," he continued. From that day, Nathaniel made it a habit to talk to her. He would sit with her during lunch, help her with school projects, and even walk her to the school gate sometimes. It didn't take long for the entire school to notice. And Vanessa? She was furious. She had spent years trying to win Nathaniel's heart, only for this poor scholarship girl to take all his attention. It was unforgivable. Determined to win Nathaniel's heart, Vanessa decided to seduce him. One Friday afternoon, she found Nathaniel alone on the basketball court. "Hey, Nate," she purred, walking up to him. He glanced at her briefly, clearly uninterested, but replied politely. "Vanessa. What do you want?" She smiled, stepping closer. "I think we should talk about us." Nathaniel sighed, spinning the ball on his finger. "There is no us, Vanessa." Ignoring his words, Vanessa placed a delicate hand on his chest and leaned in seductively. "Come on, Nathaniel," she whispered. "We both know we'd make a perfect couple. We are from the same class. We belong together. Don't waste your time on that," she sneered, "little charity case." Nathaniel removed her hand from his chest and took a step back, his eyes cold. "First of all," he said sharply, "don't ever talk about Amarachi like that again." "Nathaniel," she said desperately, "I can give you whatever you want. You don't have to waste time on a poor girl who has nothing. Nathaniel laughed, a short, sharp sound. And that's where you're wrong, Vanessa. Amarachi has more than you'll ever have. Then, with a final, devastating blow, he added. And that's why no matter what you do, I will never, ever want you. Vanessa staggered back, her lips trembling as her eyes burned with unshed tears. Then, without another word, she spun around and stormed away, her heels clicking furiously against the pavement. That day, the entire school heard about how Nathaniel Coker had publicly rejected Vanessa Johnson. 1 week after her humiliation, Vanessa sneaked into the school's IT room. With the help of a tech-savvy friend, she hacked into the school's portal and tampered with Amarachi's grades. She reduced her scores and planted fake evidence that suggested Amarachi had tried to cheat by hacking the system. The next morning, chaos erupted. The principal, Dr. Williams, was furious. A student has been caught hacking into our system, he announced during assembly. This is a serious offense, and Hillsworth Academy has zero tolerance for such behavior. Then, he dropped the bombshell: the student responsible is Amarachi Okafor. A gasp echoed through the crowd. Amarachi froze in shock. Sir, I didn't do it, she cried, stepping forward. The evidence says otherwise, Dr. Williams said sternly. Your student login details were used to access the system. This is a violation of school rules. Amarachi, your scholarship is hereby revoked. You are expelled from Hillsworth Academy. It was like a nightmare. Nathaniel stood up in anger. Sir, this doesn't make sense. Amarachi would never do this. But the damage was done. That same day, Amarachi was escorted out of the school gates, her belongings packed in a small bag. Vanessa watched from a distance, smirking in triumph. Life after expulsion was devastating. Amarachi returned home in tears, her parents heartbroken. Her mother cried for days, and her father, though silent, had pain in his eyes. I was so close, Papa, Amarachi whispered one evening. I was so close to making something of myself. But deep inside, she refused to accept defeat. Nathaniel, meanwhile, refused to believe the accusations. Something isn't right, he told his best friend, David. Amarachi would never cheat. Someone set her up. Determined to prove her innocence, Nathaniel secretly began investigating. Using his father's connections, he gained access to the school's IT records. With the help of a cybersecurity expert, he traced the hacking activity. And the truth came out. The system had been accessed from Vanessa's school login before switching to Amarachi's. It was clear, Vanessa had framed Amarachi. Nathaniel wasted no time. He took the evidence straight to the school board. The next morning, Dr. Williams called an emergency assembly. We have made a grave mistake, he announced. New evidence has revealed that Amarachi Okafor was innocent. A murmur ran through the crowd. The real culprit is Vanessa Johnson. Gasps filled the air. Vanessa shot up from her seat. Lies, she screamed. I didn't do anything. But when her digital footprints were displayed on the projector, her face drained of color. Her father, Senator Johnson, tried to intervene, but Dr. Williams refused to be bribed. Vanessa Johnson, you are hereby expelled from Hillsworth Academy, he declared. The students erupted in whispers. Vanessa's perfect world crumbled before her eyes. She stormed out, her face red with humiliation. Amarachi was immediately reinstated. As she walked back into the school, students clapped for her. The girl they had once mocked was now a symbol of resilience. When Amarachi graduated, she received a full scholarship to study abroad. On graduation day, Nathaniel walked up to her, smiling. I knew the truth would come out, he said softly. You fought for me, Nathaniel, Amarachi replied. I won't forget that. He hesitated before asking, can I write to you while you're abroad? She smiled. I'd like that. As she walked out of Usworth Academy for the last time, she knew. She had entered as an outsider. But she was leaving as a queen. Hey dear. Thanks for watching. Please do well to like, share and subscribe. Let us all join together in building an ecosystem of impact.